Welcome back, everybody, to the Daily Show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So, show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, my analysis in 3 days of live trading, definitely check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Meta, it's up 1.30%, and we also have earnings coming, and that is very soon next month. And looks like, yes, Mark Zuckerberg, he's just selling shares, but there is no effect. Again, dip buyers buying up the dip, and looks like is setting up for a move, just like Microsoft, to hit a fresh new all-time high, or at least retest previous all-time highs, only $10 away from hitting all-time highs or retesting previous all-time highs. And I think that's going to happen, and we talked about it before, how this thing was running, and I was telling you guys 355 breaks, you're going to see a huge move to close that weekly gap just under 362. We got that, and now that is a big support. You can see it right here. This entire dip last week on Thursday was bought up, and this thing went higher all the way up to Friday 377. So what's gonna be the level to watch going into Tuesday's session? If there is gonna be a pullback, you want to watch 5-day moving average right here, 366. That's gonna be a critical support, and just below that 362, we also have 13-day moving average sitting at 357.35. That's another support, and then 355, which is kind of in line with the white line 20-day moving average right here, which is moving up rapidly. Now, if there is no pullback, and if this thing continues going into next week, you're going to see the next stop, and that is 384, hitting previous all-time highs, and possibly even going up to 390. So Meta definitely setting up for a big move, and I think this thing can go up to at least previous all-time highs, and possibly can even hit a fresh new all-time high. So watch out here on Meta, guys. On Amazon stock, it's down 0.36%, nothing big, but if you look at my screen for the second day, Thursday and Friday, getting a huge rejection from 155 and coming off, and now trading just below 155. Now here on Amazon, if this thing can actually stay above 155 going into Tuesday's session, you're going to see a move all the way up to 157.67, up to even 160, and that is gonna be the next stop to the upside above 155. Now this thing stays below 155, you want to watch the support down here, 152.80, 5-day moving average, and then this gap 151.71, and below that we also have 150 strong support on Amazon. But if this thing actually gets above 155, it's gone. You're going to see 157.67 up to even 160 on Amazon. On Google stock, it's up 0.40%, and Google again not getting above 145, another rejection on Friday, and now staying just above 142, closing at 144.24. So going into next week on Tuesday, if there is a pullback, there is support here on Google between 142.96, I would say 143 to 142. That is going to be a strong support on Google. But if this thing somehow breaks out above 145, you're going to see a move all the way up to 148 to even 150 on Google. Now Google breaks below 142 to 143. Then we have also support down here 141.28, and then 140. Now strong support because we got white line 20-day moving average now moved up, sitting at 140. On AMD, it's down 1%, and now you can see not only it's trading below 148, it's trading below 5-day moving average, and now there is going to be strong support down here at 144, and below that 20-day moving average 142, and then 138. Now AMD breaks above 148 and AMD can hold right here at 148, then you're going to see a move back up to 152 because this Bollinger Band expanded all the way up to 152. So that is going to be the next stop above 148 on AMD. But on a pullback, you want to watch 144, 142, and then 138 critical support on AMD. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow, and I do post a lot of things right here on X. Now also, if you want to support the channel, and especially last week, it was a great week. I was sick before, I came back and hitting everything out of the park, and look at this play, and this is from Friday. IWM, you can see 196, 197. This is where you short. Guess what? 195 puts going in the money. IWM came all the way down to 192. That was a massive trade right here. Look at this one here, guys. Tesla. It was down to 219 right at opening 930. Guess what happened? This thing exploded within minutes. 225, and the Lotos, same day expiration on Friday, went through the roof. Here's another one. JPM, you can see this thing 175, 176 short, put strike 170, and I think we closed at 169, came down to 168. So another massive play, and all these plays went over 100 to 200%, depending on where you got out. So if you want to support the channel, get all my trade ideas in 3 days of live trading. Definitely it's worth every penny, and if you go for annual membership, you get 10% off and 1 month free. Check that out, and that link will be down below in the description. On Nvidia stock, absolutely flat on the day, and if you look at my screen, we did not actually hit another fresh new all-time high on Friday. Got up to 549.70 and then came off all the way down to 543, and now holding 546 as a support into closing. So 546, that's going to be a key level to watch on a pullback going into next week. And just below that, we also have now rising 5-day moving average 538.55. That's going to be a level to watch if we get a pullback down here. And then also we have strong support at 532. To the upside, as long as Nvidia can stay above rising 5-day moving average 538.55, you're going to see a full retracement, doubling this range, this consolidation, and this thing can go all the way up to 600. On Netflix, absolutely flat on the day, but look at this rejection for the second day, or actually the third time right here, guys, at 500. Again, getting rejection and coming off and staying flat on the day. And day before, we got actually on Thursday a huge doji right here on Netflix. And now again, after going all the way up to 500, getting a rejection and coming off, and now trading at 492. So here on Netflix, this is gonna be a strong level to watch, 485. And now that we got all these moving averages now sitting at 485, 20-day, 13-day, and 5-day, on a pullback, this is gonna be a strong level to watch right here at 485. Now, as long as Netflix can stay above 485, you're going to see 500 and then possibly going all the way up to 506, and that could be coming early as next week. On Microsoft, it's up 1%, and again on Friday, Microsoft going up and pretty much hitting another fresh new all-time highs, and not quite getting up to 390.68, but getting very close to it and closing at the high of the day, 388.47. And look at this magnetic support now. And look at this one here. Before it was down here, right? That previous all-time highs, 366, 367. And now on Friday, look at this, guys. I mean, this cannot get any better. Low for the day, 384.65, holding previous all-time highs as a support, and this thing went back up. So going into Tuesday's session, if there is going to be a pullback, this thing is getting really frothy. Watch out for the support down here, 384, and only if that breaks, watch out for 380. to the upside. As long as Microsoft can hold above 384, you're going to see another quick trip back up to 390, and above that, this thing can go all the way up to another fresh new all-time highs, and that could be 400 on Microsoft. On Apple stock, it's up 0.18%, so kind of a flat day here on Apple. But if you look at my screen, so far it's doing a great job holding 185, 5-day moving average right here as a support. Anytime we saw a pullback, it's holding 5-day moving average right here. So 185, that's going to be a critical level to watch going into Tuesday's session. And below 185, we do have strong support down here at 183 and then 180. Now to the upside, as long as Apple can hold right here 185, and we know that there is a competition going on between Apple and Microsoft, and this thing definitely staying behind right now, and Microsoft hitting another fresh new all-time highs. So do not count Apple out. If this thing can actually hold above 185, you're going to see a move up to 50-day moving average right here around 189, and then watch out for 190 up to this gap 191.73, and Apple can clear all that, then watch out, we might be going for another fresh new all-time highs. Now also guys, I showed you guys when Apple was down here how Apple was getting oversold, RSI getting down to 28.30, and whenever you see that on Apple stock, guess what? You buy that dip. And this is not the only time I called it. I called it so many times before on this dip, it was getting oversold, and I said, do not short this stock, and this is the time to buy the dip. And guess what? If you actually bought the dip anywhere close to 180, 183, you made a decent amount of money knowing that Apple stock cannot stay oversold for too long. So watch out. Apple could be the next big moving thing going into next week, as long as Apple can hold right here 185, 5-day moving average right here as a support. If not, there's going to be more downside, and Apple can come down again down to 183, 180, and who knows, maybe even 177. But we do have this gap on top, and that means one thing: Apple can go all the way up to 191.73 to close this massive gap on top. On Tesla stock is down 3.67%, and look at this guys, it's getting really oversold. Now it's not extremely oversold, but you can see my point right here. Every time Tesla gets down to RSI near 30.25, we see explosive move to the upside. Look at this one right here, look at this one right here, and now again getting down to 31.32. So this thing can sell off a little bit more, I would say, but then where this thing can go, it's getting extremely oversold, not only on the RSI, but if you look at my screen, lower Bollinger Band sitting at 223, and the stock is trading at 218. Left two gaps open here on top. So what's going to be the next stop on Tesla? To the downside, this is going to be a key level to watch, 212. And below that, this thing can come down all the way down to 200. Now we all know that Tesla also trading below daily 200 SMA. And that means one thing, this thing definitely can bounce. Lower Bollinger Band sitting at 223, getting oversold. RSI down to 31.32. So this thing can come down, I would say, a little bit more, down to 212, maybe even 200. And that's going to be an absolute dip buy on Tesla to ride this stock back up to at least, I would say, 250 in next maybe 4 to 5 weeks. Now going into Tuesday's session, you want to watch if this thing actually bounces back up. In Tesla actually can go up to this gap and hold this as a support right here between 225, 226. If that happens, we actually got a bottom here on Tesla, and this thing can move back up to 231 to close this gap on top. And above that, watch out for a move up to 237 and then 241. And to the downside, definitely strong support right here at 212 and then flat 200. And also, I mean, if you look at it, you can call this inverse head and shoulder. We got the left shoulder head and the right shoulder right here. So yes, I mean, it's not the perfect head and shoulder, but you can call it inverse head and shoulder right here on Tesla. And if this thing is getting really oversold on the RSI, and also if we look at this lower Bollinger Band, we can definitely see a massive rally to the upside. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Tuesday.